Hey everybody, and welcome back to It's Just My Opinion, my weekly review show where I get as many of these reviews out of the way that I do not have the potential creative juices to do a full review for. A lot of these are requests, so if you have any requests, please leave them. I'm going to get to a couple of those today, and I'm going to start with one that a lot of people actually did want me to review. Some people actually emailed me over this. They want me to review Halestorm. It's not exactly heavy metal, but it's heavy enough. I'll give it a listen. So here's Halestorm's newest, A Strange Case of... Yeah. This treads the line between rock and heavy metal very tightly, and I think it does seem a little bit more on the rock side. It seems like, if anything, it sounds like a very early Avenged Sevenfold band, or like Anarchy Club, I think is a good analogy, but it's alright. It's not bad. I don't really have a problem with Halestorm. A lot of people hate them, and I don't have a problem with them. I like Lizzie Hale. I think she was great on Adrenaline Mob's debut album. Her parts were pretty damn good. They brought a lot of life into what would have otherwise been some pretty mediocre songs. The thing with this album is that it's not bad, it's just unbalanced. A lot of parts seem too soft, a lot of parts seem too heavy, and it doesn't really seem to find a common balance that makes it, unique. It seems really cookie cutter at times, and the worst parts of this are the ones that were put in specifically to be singles. That one song that is on Glee, I think, it was mentioned actually on the YouTube page for the video for it, that the song as seen on Glee. And when I think of a rock band, I don't want to see that. I have some problems with Glee. I'm probably going to make a video on just that. But that is definitely the weakest song on the album. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's just... It was terrible when I heard it. I like when she's able to go crazier, like in that one song, Love Bites. I think she was really good in that, but I think the band was too weak. The songs on the album are not that catchy. The band is very, very weak. I think she's the best part of it, and I think, honestly, if she was able to go off and do her own thing and it was heavier, I would like this a lot more. I just like my rock with a little bit more balls. I know that's not a jab at female singers. I love female singers. The next one is my personal pick. I wanted to put this on the show because I love this band, and it's very rare to hear anybody talk about this. They have a new album out, and I want people to hear this band. I'm going to warn you right off the bat, though. You remember when I said that Leprous was weird? They've got nothing on this. This is Diablo Swing Orchestra's Pandora's Pinata. This is the single most difficult band I have ever come across when you try to describe it to somebody. The best I can come up with is it's Brian Setzer meets Motorhead. It's a swing orchestra with a heavy metal backing. It's so crazy. All right, let me get into what I actually like about it the most. I like the singers. The background singer is, I think, one of the guitar players, and he's very, very creepy. He's one of those low-talking, jazzy singers, and I like that a lot. It adds a lot of aesthetic to the songs, and the female singer is an operatic singer. Now, I know I use that term very loosely. A lot of people do. Operatic singer, a lot of people think, oh, it's like Nightwish. She's very operatic. She includes a lot of high notes, and she's very strong with her belting out. No. This is an opera singer. There's no other way to describe this. She sings opera with this, and it just... all the parts for the vocals, no matter how crazy they are, meld in with the band so well. And one of the things I like the most about it is that the band puts out an amazing amount of sound for the limited amount of people they have. I think they only have like 8 people. It sounds like a full orchestra and a singer. These songs are incredibly catchy and memorable. The guitar parts are so welded into the jazz parts. I love the drummer. I love the jazzy style that he goes for. When you compare it to their other stuff, I think it's a little bit less varied in their style. One thing I always liked about Sing-Along Songs for the Damned and Delirious, which, by the way, is my favorite album title of all time. Sing-Along Songs for the Damned and Delirious was their last album. and they really stretched how far a swing band with a heavy metal backing can go. They had a lot of songs that were incredibly heavy. They had a lot of songs that were very subdued, almost lounge music-ish. And then they had stuff that was right in the middle. This one never tends to find a common middle. It's either incredibly heavy or incredibly light, and it doesn't find that balance as much. I think that's really the only problem I have with it. A few of the softer, slower songs are there, but they're not as memorable. Voodoo Mon Amour, the first song, and it's actually on their YouTube page and on their Facebook. It's a great song. I know I play bits and pieces of the songs in the background. You have to hear what this band sounds like. It's Disney metal. That's my favorite analogy for it. It's Disney metal. It sounds like a heavy metal version of a good Disney song. So check it out. If you don't like it based on my description, just check it out anyway. You might actually like it. And finally, I had this one recommended, and I never heard of it before, and it's called the Minotaur Project. It's available on YouTube, and I got a couple samples, so here's what it sounds like. Alright, here's what it is. Matt Gabnai, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, and I'm sorry. He's a bass player from France who put together this project by himself. It's a one-man band style deal, and it has a lot of multi-tracking and a decent amount of guest vocalists and musicians. I don't recognize any of them by name. They might be from other YouTube pages. They may be in bands, and I just haven't heard them. But the end result that this guy's created is just unbelievable. For a homemade project, this is incredible. It sounds like something Arion Nevermore or Amorphous would come up with on any of their best days. It's heavy, it's beautiful, all the parts work very well together, especially the keyboard parts. I really hope that's not just a machine playing that. I hope that's actually a keyboardist. Or if it's him, even better. Seeing this guy play is just amazing. That's why I really like the videos. They enhance the image on what it takes to play these songs. The guy is essentially a bass player for the most part, so that's obviously what I feel is the strongest part. I like it when you can pinpoint and say that's a great bass line, because a lot of times it stays in the background and you can't understand. And I'm a bass player. Alright, I play bass. I don't like to call myself a bass player because I'm not very good. Just because you own a type of instrument does not mean you are that type of instrument player. Like, if you own a guitar, you're not a guitarist. If you own a keyboard, you're not a keyboardist. I have a keyboard upstairs. I have a guitar right in the back there. I've got a bass and I've got a drum that are disassembled. None of them are ready to play right now. This guy, if he picks up an instrument, he's a guitarist. If he picks up a bass, he's a bassist. If he plays keyboard, he is a keyboardist. He is a great multi-instrumental person, and I'm really glad that he found a niche with this, because the end result is just incredible. I really hope he's the drummer, too, because the drum parts are great. The guest spots are, in my opinion, some of the best parts. He's even admitted, like, on his Facebook page, people have said, like, why don't you have that many solos? And he admits, I'm not a great guitarist. I do my own parts, and I let the guest spots pick up the solos. And I think that's a great thing to acknowledge, that, like, you know, if I want to have a solo, I want it done right. I want it done by somebody who can do it perfectly. And if it's not me, I don't want to just rush and do it. I really like that, and I'm really glad that he got some people to jump on his project. It's picking up some ground, but I want everyone to listen to it. So please, search on YouTube for Minotaur Project. You're watching this video, you're obviously not doing much. Check out Minotaur Project right now. Check out his Facebook page. You can download the entire album for free, and he has an EP on Bandcamp, and you should buy it. I did, so should you. And that's all I got for this week. Until next time, leave me a comment telling me what you want to hear, and remember, if you don't like what I said, I'm going to go the junior high route and say that it's a free country and I can say what I want. Also, don't take it too seriously. It's just my opinion. Seriously, check this guy out. Go right now. The link's on the bottom of the page. Check out the page. Why are you still watching me? Go now. Watch, crush, kill, destroy.